Yeah, that's freaking ridiculous.
All right. Well then, I say let's just go back to talking about V. Why not? Sure, everything else. We'll go over everything else again.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Just
what do
want to talk about V for a bit anyway, because he's interesting. Uh, I I think he's some kind of incarnation of Virgil. I think he's Virgil from Virgil's downfall. Just because the description we're given is he summons bodyguards to attack, and that sounds an awful lot like Virgil's Devil Trigger and DMC.
I just feel like that it can't be the case. I just feel like. Hold on. Hold
I
on.
mean, unless he's
I
weaponized Nightmare.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, but Nightmare's already weaponized. Because there's the Nightmare Beta.
Yeah, but the Nightmare Beta is is before Nightmare was even created.
Oh,
Like,
right. The Nightmare we fought in DMC1 is like the actual like fully realized one.
just so I'm just trying to think with the way it seems like to me is with I feel like there's got to be some sort of bridge between the two characters, and I don't believe it's like a lost son
No,
sort of
it's
scenario.
not. Because that's too easy. I mean, this is Devil May Cry, but at the same time, we've already got the whole lost son thing with Nero. We don't need to do that again.
Yeah, like that. I don't want that to be a thing again. So I do believe that V is Virgil in some fashion, and I
Oh, game theory. It's not just a theory; it's a game theory. So
because
let's look at another series for 1 second. All right,
yeah.
Dragon Ball.
Oh God.
All right, I think you might see where I'm going with this. So if V is some kind of personification of Virgil, well, Piccolo and Kami.
Goku, Bardock.
No, Piccolo and Kami.
Oh God.
I mean
That'd
that.
be
So in one instance, they are exactly the same person. But
that's a bit of a stretch.
well, I mean, if
That
he's
but
gonna
that
if
would be
he's gonna
interesting though.
if he's gonna share a close tie with Virgil and not be a son, which please don't be a son. We don't need any more sons of Sparta, grandsons or otherwise.
Oh, you know what I think it could be, and I hope it's not the case.
What?
Apprentice.
I
Yeah.
mean, sure,
Think
why
about
not?
it. Think about it. Because
But I mean,
Virgil tried to imitate everything that his father did. What did Sparta do? Have two apprentices. He trained both of them. So that's what I'm
actually,
thinking.
you know what? That makes sense. But I
So
mean, what would
I just
Virgil gain from that? Because, like, where would? Because Virgil's whole thing is he's in it for the power.
yeah, and he always wants to surpass Sparta in every way. So that's what I'm saying is that's exactly that would make sense who V is.
And a print, okay, I'll take it.
So that's what I'm just like kind of sitting here going. If that's the case, then it would make sense, and then I would be okay with this, considering that Virgil knows how to use magical arts, and it would make sense that this character knows how to use magical arts because Sparta did it, Virgil needed to learn how to do it, and now his apprentice knows how to do it.
Now I wonder if that weapon he's using, if it's got any kind of connection to Sparta. Because I mean, if he's gonna be apprenticing with Virgil, he's gonna need something buff.
I still think that's Yamato though,
I mean, it
but
could be, but the scale just seems off, really off.
I feel like what the guy is doing in that shot is that he has the sword more forward, where you can't see the sword entirely. Like all you see is that little hilt of it because the sword is in front of him as he's
Right.
walking, and he's holding the sword in a way that if he reaches his hand out, he can pull it out. Kind of like
Right.
where Virgil does during his fights when he's about to get into a fight with Dante in Devil May Cry 3. He pulls the sword forward to him and grabs the sword to get ready to draw it out at any second to do his brother dirty. So that's what I think that shot is supposed to be like. It's supposed to be like, oh, it's just a casual walk, and it's supposed to see people into thinking that that's not Yamato, but really that is Yamato.
Right. The question is like, so the hooded figure who is definitely Virgil, who's definitely not Virgil. Wink, wink. We can see the cufflinks. They're super similar to his DMC4 and DMC3 outfit. Actually, I don't think
Yeah.
he had cufflinks. I think that's a
No, he did.
DMC4.
He did. In 3, he did.
I mean, this is a great excuse for me to fire up DMC3 to check.
Yeah, he had the same cufflinks.
Like he didn't have the shoulder pads in DMC. That is definitely a DMC4 thing.
I think you're right, but he might have also had that as well. I'm not sure.
Of course, I mean we're assuming he never saw Taylor between 4 and 3. God, Capcom, fix your timeline. In fact, I want DMC5 to take place after everything because it just makes it easy.
Yeah, just please patch things up.
Like you can't save the timeline as it is, so going forward, make it easier on us. What is this Metal Gear garbage? I love Metal Gear Solid, make no mistake, but it
Boss.
so bad. The
Boss.
way they order it is so awful.
Freaking awesome.
I'm leaning more towards my idea of actually I mean I like the idea of an apprentice. I really do. But I'm still leaning towards kind of like some kind of personal excision. Maybe he's I don't know because the person we see rip off Nero's arm in the trailer has some pretty clear features, the veins and all that. He's still wearing the coat even though it's kind of dirty and raggedy, but still mostly intact. Whereas the person we're seeing in the promotional art, which for all that's worth, which I think maybe we're putting too much into it, promo art.
For all we know, that Virgil might have been changing clothes, and
Yeah, that's
something might have
entirely
happened.
possible.
Yeah, and something might have happened to where he ended up getting those tattoos, which I don't think those are tattoos. I really do think that that's some sort of physical mark or laceration that he received from.
Might be branding he got when he became Nilo Angelo, but I mean
Yeah,
but those veins, those he that's the thing. When you look at you look at corrupt Virgil, like that's when he's not Nilo Angelo. That is what he looks like. He has
yeah, like
those
he's
thunderbolt
pale, he's got
veins.
blue veins going
Yeah,
on. But that's
that's
what I'm saying is that if he were to revert back to normal, right? Which I'm assuming, like, if we're gonna say that V is Virgil, just assuming that for a moment, right?
sure.
Just just assuming that if he goes back to normal, do you think that he might have had some like physical damage done to him?
Oh, absolutely. There's no way that Nilo Angelo process was any kind of pleasant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is those markings are on his arm. That might be not type of branding, but also like that might be like physical lacerations and and torn tissues from when he turned into Neil Angelo. Because the way Mundus did whatever Mundus did to Virgil, no regenerative ability, anything like that would have brought him back to normal after that.
Yeah,
There's
that
just
would have
it doesn't.
exceeded any kind of healing factor. Like
Yeah,
a healing factor, his healing factor would certainly heal any injuries, but that kind of damage.
yeah, it was really bad from what it looked like.
I'm
Like it
think
was a major case of bad. Huh?
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see, but they're just throwing us for a loop. I think they're being intentional. They could just be trolling us with it. And then it's just like, oh yeah, ignore that. Because remember, the first trailer for DMC, Dante looked like a 16-year-old,
Psychotic.
yeah, 16-year-old psychotic meth dealer. And then the final product we got, he looked more reasonably adult, uh,
Yeah, he looks
less
like
meth dealer, more,
more like more like I don't give a shit punk teen.
yeah, well, more like I don't give a shit, 21-year-old.
Like F you, F you.
Who never left high school, and his sense of humor and mannerisms prove it.
It's like, look at me, I'm college. I'm a
Oh,
high
oh
school.
yeah. Also, I hope some of the writing is a little more clever.
You know
It,
it's gonna be clever. We
oh
heard a
yeah,
bit of it in the trailer. It's like, well, no chit chat or monologue, just right to the point, huh?
yeah. I hope
It's
there's
like,
more of that. Now, DMC had one moment where it was actually almost funny. Actually, it was almost hilarious, and that's when he was talking to what was it?
cat.
Succubus, and she's
Succubus.
like, "Oh, you can't. You want to kill me? You can't kill me. I'm over 1,200 years old." He's like, "You don't look a day over 12,000." I almost laughed, but they were too quick into going into "fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." Oh my gosh, what grade are we in? Why did you ruin that very special moment we just had?
It's like, it's just that, and then the egg timer one. He's like, what is that, an
Oh,
egg timer?
oh, yeah, I remember that.
Like that part kind of was like, it does look like an egg. Then it starts ringing. Timer. Like, oh shit, it is an egg timer.
Oh, why not? Yeah, I think V is going to play like Virgil from VDF. He's gonna have his special ability is gonna be doppelgangers. And while doppelgangers are in play, it uses up some kind of magic or DD gauge.
Yeah, I'm hoping the,
Now
like I
I
said, we
know
got to
for a
see.
f- I know, like deep down, I know we're going to get a classic Virgil playable because special editions sold entirely on the premise that you can play with a more fleshed out Virgil. In fact, this is the most fleshed out he's ever been. DMC4 special. He has a bigger move list than DMC, but they don't. His move set really doesn't work together as well.
And then also the fact that we've seen new mechanics that were never introduced into Devil May Cry to begin with, like the auto combo things that we saw, where he auto switches between one weapon to another during a special combo attack.
What was this?
Uh, the rush down that he does with Force Edge and Yamato.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I do it all the time. You've seen it. It's like literally, I'll do that rush down and then I'll hold the
Yeah, it's kind of
triangle
like
down.
Dante's move with Agni and Rudra.
Yeah, streak.
There we go. In fact, the animation's really similar. The more I think about it.
Yeah, it is. It's literally is the same animation.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a V teaser with the Dante trailer at Gamescom. There's no way they're not gonna show Dante. No way. Like
I'm hoping.
even if the demo is Nero, I think they're gonna show. I think it's gonna be a Dante trailer. We already got our Nero trailer, and I think showing Nero first was great because it shows confidence, and what they showed was excellent.
And Dante with a beard though.
Yeah, yeah, that I was a little taken aback because at first I thought the only thing that this picture needs is for Dante to be missing some teeth. and he
Yeah, I thought
and
just
he
he's
look
missing. It's like, oh no, I'm
and he
imagining
looks
that.
like
That's
Trailer Park Dante.
like he's got a fucking beard.
But not it's grown on me. Grown on me quite a bit.
That that's what I'm saying though. I got thrown off at first because when you see the Xbox when you're watching it from the Xbox conference,
Yeah, it
it
stops. You don't see
it yeah, you don't see how his face looks. It looks like ass on
yeah, need to see it in like the actual trailer.
yeah, when you see the actual trailer of him, it's like
It actually looks
holy
all right.
shit. I felt old when I saw his
You ought
face.
to. It's been 10 years since DMC4.
I was like, holy shit,
11
where
when
have I
it
been?
releases.
It's like you think of one of two things. One, like holy shit, Dante got old. He has age has done him bad.
Yeah. Sometimes
Or
time isn't very nice.
or like holy crap, he's aged, and where the fuck have I been? You literally ask those two questions: where am I, and where have I been?
But I think Nero was the right choice simply because we have way more questions about Nero. Of we wanted to see some of Nero's old moves. We wanted to see new moves. Got that. Dante has so much to do that I think them showing Dante would have been too easy, and I don't see Itsuno going the easy route. Also, the fact that they showed Nero is one a great sign of confidence. Two, what they showed was great and it's resonating. But the music for the trailer oozes with confidence too.
You know, the funny thing is that I was trying to show that to somebody, and they were saying how they didn't like it, and I'm like, I don't know what.
Are you kidding? Did they did they understand what Devil May Cry has gone through in the last 5 years? Because
Maybe
clearly
the
they
thing is,
don't.
like, to a new person, they do not know. Like, I try to show this to a new person who never experienced Devil
Yeah,
May Cry
for the
before.
okay, so for the fan base, for you and me, that trailer was hype. Like it was crazy good.
Yeah, that was everything.
That was the best Devil May Cry trailer we've ever had, and I'm talking ever. Like better than DMC4 special, the 6-second DMC4 specialty got at the end of Definitive Edition announced trailer.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, that blew up. That was an
oh yeah,
atomic bomb.
yeah. So, speaking of the
And then
characters,
and
the
the song, like I love the fact that we are going with synth metal. I love the fact we have female vocals in there, and I love the fact we're layering it. So the fact that we're taking DMC and dialing that up a little bit, good.
it's
Like
like when I
Capcom
saw that,
knows they have a winner. They know they do.
it's like it's like look like we got ourselves a winner, jackpot.
Oh, that's the only thing that was missing. That'll be in the Dante trailer. I guarantee it.
Jackpot.
How can it
But
not?
yeah, here's what caught me off guard that turns out to be a thing. Um, don't know if this is true or not. Don't know if this is actually fact because people are saying it left and right. So with Nico, here's one thing that I know that's canon about Nico. She is related to Nels.
Yep.
To, to those who don't know who Nels is the creator of Ebony and Ivory. And I know some dumb schmuck is probably raising their hand like now, but like I thought Dante created it.
Nope.
No,
Dante is not a gunsmith.
yeah, he didn't make the guns. He built them, but he didn't make them. He didn't make the materials and the spring and all that other crap. That was his deceased friend Nell. Nell at the artworks built the gun for him because she realized that Dante, the way Dante handles guns, is he's too rough on the gun. So he needs a gun that's completely built for him in mind. And so she made the parts, let them leave them disassembled for him to build it, left him a letter, and when she died and Dante found the guns, he built the guns himself. So Nico is the granddaughter of Nell. Now here's the part that doesn't make any sense to me. She's apparently the the daughter of Agnes.
Well, we think there's a relation to Agnes. I don't know that there's been any confirmation related to. There's some similarities in facial features, but that's a bit of a.
I think, yeah, people are saying that left and right, and I'm thinking this.
Besides, Agnes was very shut in. Like he spent almost the entirety of his time doing research. Not to mention he seemed socially. Let's just say he probably wasn't the life of the party.
Yeah, it's just like Hello. Yeah,
I,
but
I I don't see it. I mean, if people
yeah,
want to
I don't
say it,
see it
that's fine.
either. But that's what people are saying, and it's like I don't know how to. I don't know if I can believe that or not.
I
For
don't,
the
because of, again, the Order of the Sword is a very what's the word I'm thinking? It's a very isolated group. Like, they only branched out after they found after they found shards of Nilo Angelo.
Angelo to make those stupid Angelo Knights.
Yeah, after they discovered the Hellgate and weaponized, or rather, they figured out how to utilize it for manufacturing and development. Like, that's when they branched out, which means not too many outside influences. They probably interacted with the outside world. They probably never really intermingled, like romantically or socially.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It's like I feel like Neil Angelo is this. Well, with the Neil Angelo parts, a lot of people are like, I don't believe that, and it's like, well, look it up. It's fact. Those armors that are flying around are in fact parts
They're
of
all,
Neil Angelo.
yeah, they're based on Nilo Angelo, so deal with it.
Yep, deal with it. It's fact. It's canon. Um, so, but the crazy thing is that people keep saying that it's Nico, and the reason why they facial features and all the fact that she catches a cigarette in her mouth during the truck flipping thing in the trailer. Here's what I say about that. If
Sometimes
anybody,
characters are just having a kid. Sometimes they're just
yeah,
badass. Can that just be a
and
case?
yeah, and, well, my opinion is right, and this is you took it lightheartedly. I was gonna say if you were to make that opinion and say that try to compare her with Agnes, then you're by far fucking retarded because what the hell does this explain about Lady? She freaking does. She was doing a ballerina act.
Oh
Fucking
gosh, yeah, I
acrobatic.
forgot about Lady. Like, she was doing crazy stuff too.
Yeah, she was doing some acrobatical shit with a bazooka on her
She was doing
back.
gun kata.
Yeah, she was doing some. Yeah, she was doing some major gun kata. She was doing some shit that that in real life, you're like, there was like 3 to 5 times that she could have locked the gun up doing that, and then she would have been really assed out. Like, like those moments where you're like, that wouldn't been happening in a million years because she were to mess that up even in the slightest, the gun would lock up and she would break everything inside the gun. The gun would never fire ever again.
Yeah, sometimes the character's just badass. They don't have any relation. They don't have to have a past relation. It, what it, but everyone's got to be related to someone powerful. Because I
Like,
mean,
oh my god,
every canon has to work the same as Star Wars.
Luke, no Luke,
Like, everyone
I'm
has
your
to be
father.
related to Han Solo and Skywalker to matter.
Like that's impossible. But yeah, it's just
Yeah,
ridiculous. In
I'm.
fact, we actually made that comparison with Luke and Darth Vader to Nero and Virgil. Like, why would he chop off his own son's arm though? Didn't stop Darth Vader from doing it to his own son.
Father of the Year.
I, I saw that. I'm like,
I saw one. It was Joel and Ellie, and Joel's keeping Ellie safe. There was another video game father. I wasn't entirely sure who it was, but it looked really close. And then it was just Virgil just showing up, tearing Nero's arm off, and Nero's just laying in a pool of blood, writhing in pain, while Nero's like, "Mine."
mine, my arm,
Yeah,
mine.
I think we're looking too far into the Agnes.
Yeah, I know. That's
And
I feel
besides,
like
Agnes wasn't even that interesting character.
yeah, he really was, and I don't know why trying to bring that up. And it's like she could have just caught the cigarette in her mouth, just like how
Because
Lady
she's
just did some
awesome.
major Gymkhana with a damn bazooka. Okay,
Remember, we're in a universe where a dude can ride a motorcycle up the piece of a collapsing, as in, present progressive building.
Yeah, a collapsing tower, and decides to use it as a pair of nunchucks on a bucket.
Oh yeah, that. Don't forget that.
And then the bike proceeds to explode behind him, and he's just like,
And
oh.
it explodes while he's holding it.
Yeah, he's holding it, explodes, and he just looks at the freaking bar like, oh, okay, don't need this anymore, and throws it away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Great
the
way to
world
get
we live in.
that out.
That is the world we are inhabiting when we fire up Devil May Cry. So yeah, maybe we don't need to look too deep in here, because Lady can pull off some pretty incredible stuff.
Yeah, like when she first met Dante and beat the shit out of him in his freaking shop, only to have Dante blow up her bike and then look at
Oh
her
no, that
like,
was Trish, not Lady.
Yeah, not Lady Trish, like freaking blow up the bike like, did Daddy ever teach you how to use the sword? Sword, yeah, right.
Time to go to work, boys.
Just starts shooting them up. It's like, I'm gonna light it up like the 4th of July. Christmas, motherfucker.
I think we're gonna see Trish and Lady in the Dante trailer. I really do.
So too.
Because I mean, they have a closer relationship to Dante than they do Nero. In fact, they don't have much of one with Nero at all. They never even meet him. Damn Trish, she's the reason that a whole culture just gets upended. Because none of that would have been possible without the Sparta sword. And she's the one who gave it to him. I mean, there was never a danger because Dante was there.
But never fear, Dante is here.
Also, I hope they continue to use the same quality music for Dante that they did with Pro, because as much as the nostalgia is nice, Lock and Load Black and Angel mix is not a very cool track.
Oh, from Devil May Cry 4?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of liked it in DMC1. And Sean McPherson clearly phoned it in with that one. Like,
yeah,
the lyrics weren't hype at all. Like, time has come with some.
I hope they give him like more of the riff from Devil May Cry 3.
Yeah.
Like, I rather hear a remix of those songs.
Taste the Blood for life.
Like, time has come, so have I.
I think the route they're going is more akin to something more energetic and layered. So something like DMC, which by the way was bad use of good Combi Christ.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, I really hope that
But there was some B-roll I was recording to showcase the music, and there was one hype moment for me. Do you know that enemy that you fight with? He's got the orange gelatinous blob for his stomach, and he's got 2 saws that he throws at you, circular blades.
Are we talking about in DMC2?
No, DMC.
DMC, enemies with blobs. Oh, you're talking about the jar head.
Not the jar head. His weak like the point you could hurt him was his stomach.
Yeah, the one with the jar head. His head was in a jar on his stomach.
Okay. Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, so when he gets introduced, as like when the cutscene when you see your first one, they're playing Death Race.
Yeah.
And
give me some help.
Yeah. That was awesome. That was great use of good Combi Christ. Especially if you could get an S rank with a parry, and then just like juggle the guy in the air with Osiris and Rebellion, which were the only 2 weapons that would juggle him. Everything else he'd drop.
Yeah, that's the thing I really didn't like about DMC Devil May Cry is that some of the weapons just didn't have that much options when it came to.
Yeah. But then, like, you get the S rank, and then it's just and then you just hear the chorus. You hear the song in full blast, and I think DMC5 should take it a step higher because you only heard more of the song at S rank, and that was it. But while you were at S rank, Like the track was way more energetic. So the adrenaline pump was real.
For real, they need to. If they really go down that path, I hope they do because in DMC Devil May Cry, what the style mirror did to Dante, because nobody really knows about this or really paid attention to the game to really care, is that when you use your style, if you build the style up, you go faster. Like your attack animations will end faster. You'll be able to recover, get out of attacks quicker. Like you basically everything about you speeds up.
I
So
never,
the higher,
you know what? I don't know that I consciously noticed that, but I think you're right.
like I
I think
noticed,
your
yeah,
startups were lowered by a couple frames, and I think your recovery was reduced by a couple frames. I think that's what did it.
yeah. So it was. I never really paid much notice to it for two reasons. One, because when you're in the fight, you're not really paying attention to it,
Right.
and two, the well, there's a random fish in this water. Sorry, guys, I got distracted by this thing. Yeah, there's uh, just you're constantly trying to build your style up and everything like that. So you're not really paying attention to that. But it wasn't until somebody brought it up to my attention one day. They were like, "Yeah, you go faster as the style builds up." And I was like, I'm thinking to myself,
Is
"Is it
that
like
why?
that?"
Is that why we didn't have 60 FPS in the initial launch? I don't. That's not a console limitation. Guarantee it's not console limitation. Because DMC4 was doing 60 just fine. That said, MT
You know,
Framework is god tier game engine.
yep. Until they got rid of it, which is sad.
Yeah, but RE Engine looks like it's pretty good. I'm so glad it's
It's
not
good.
Unreal. I'm so glad DMC5 is not Unreal 4. I'm
I'm
sorry,
thinking
but
of
Unreal
Unreal
4
4.
has a baked in 8 frame input lag.
Yeah, and Unreal Engine is kind of messing up Gundam Breakers right now, and I'm kind of sad because I was really enjoying the game that much, but the game's having like network issues, game staggering, all types of shit, and I know that's the engine. I know all that's the engine and not
I
the
think Capcom. I think
infrastructure.
Capcom should. I think they should license MT Framework in RE set in the RE engine. I really do. Because
The
next to
thing
the
is,
Fox engine, like
the
I think
Unreal
whatever.
Engine that's associated with Epic Games.
Yep.
They're the ones who make it, which is like kind of
Yeah,
bullshit.
I know. And I mean, they license it and they make buku money for something that costs nothing to provide at this point because they make money off their games.
It's like I make money.
Like the engine already pays for itself when they finish game development on a game that uses it or two
Yeah.
games. Like all that has to happen is Gears of War 4 needs to come out and yeah, there you go, money.
I just find it ridiculous though that that's a thing though.
What, that they license the engine out or that Unreal 4 like Unreal Engine even in
Like
its fourth
Unreal Engine has
iteration is still trash.
like the Unreal Engine has issues when you don't know how to handle it properly, and then also the fact that Epic Games like owns this thing and license it out to people, and there's other companies that use that same engine, and like for instance, but I think that's the reason why PUBG is like having a dispute with them right
Oh,
now.
that's just because they're terrible developers. They're awful.
But they
There's
use it
no
and
reason
they
a
have
game
to
like
pay
PUBG.
them for it.
Okay, PUBG runs at 30 frames per second, targets 30 frames per second on the Xbox One X. That game looks like a late PS3, early PS4 game.
That is true.
All right. On top of that, like there's really not a whole lot going on. It's just a CPU intensive game because it's just really big. There is no reason the Xbox One X should be struggling. There's no reason it should be at slideshow level performance when the action picks up. Like there's no reason. There's no excuse. It's not a power issue. It is a development issue, and it's a developer issue because Street Fighter 5 is at 60 FPS. It's Unreal 4. It shouldn't be, but it is. I think that's
That is true.
uh, lots of games use Unreal 4 and get way better results with way more intense requests of the game engine. So I think it's just bad. I think it's just. I don't think.
Bad, yeah, bad development.
I think it's
Which I think,
basically. I think their mantra was the same as Crytek's. Oh, we'll just make the game and assume hardware is going to come out that'll let the game.
which is ridiculous because, I mean, but we gotta give props to Crytek though, even though we're a
I
little
mean,
bit
they
off
make
topic.
pretty games.
Yeah, they made really good games for
And
their
yet
time.
somehow, like, Devil May Cry is actually looking like a powerhouse graphical game. I never thought that would be a thing for the series.
And those rumors seem to be on point though, with what they were saying. How
Well, they said it was
they,
going to be Unreal, and that's when I thought, oh, it, I was I was elated when I found out it was RE engine. It was at least a proprietary Capcom engine.
yeah, but what we got with the rumor though, which made it nice, was that the camera was going to be worked out, and you see a bit how the camera works out.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
camera
it's
the camera
smooth.
really does pull away when you're doing combat, especially with Nero. Like it caters to Nero's playstyle, and it's really nice. And it looks like they took a couple of inspirations from DMC Devil May Cry. Like, say if you kill the last enemy in the
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, it does it like a
zooms up.
it gets in close and time slows down a little bit to accentuate the kill. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it was just like that's a nice touch.
Yeah, I like
And
that. So like a finisher view.
so that
I,
makes
I,
like those moments when you're doing combo videos so much more meaningful.
yeah, because otherwise we'd have to slow that down. And nah, don't let us do.
But it really isn't that bad of a thing though, because people do that shit all the time. It's just
Yeah, I think the game's
it just
gonna do
makes
a
it
better
easier for
job.
us though. Yeah, it just makes the game just makes it easier for us. But what I'm worried about uh, is the other stuff, like how does the combat going to really act under, since this is, we don't know like how the engine's gonna play out for this game.
Itsuno says he's gonna get 60 FPS. He's had
It's
3 years to code this game. I trust Itsuno.
yeah, I
Praise
trust him
be
too.
to based its.
Yeah, I believe him. I believe what he's saying. I have no doubts about what he's doing. I'm just saying with what he's got going on with it, right? I'm hoping that the engine and everything about it actually can handle, like, because some games like to not go the way they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm hoping there's no hiccups because that would really suck.
Well, I think if there's a legendary Dark Knight mode, that might be unavoidable. But in the game proper, like Human, Devil Hunter, Son of Sparta, Dante Must Die, I don't expect much, if any, hiccups. And if there are hiccups, they won't be in combat. They'll
Yeah,
just be in
they
like
also, but
traversal.
didn't the rumors also say that the game is going to be open, like almost open worldish, in the sense that you have a lot to work with?
You'll be able to. My understanding of it was you will be able to take different routes in the missions instead of going down the exact same path. Because in DMC 1 through 4, with few exceptions, there's really only one way to traverse. There's only one path you take. Whereas in DMC5, they're planning on saying, well, there might be a fork in the road and you can go left or you can go right. And one might have this pack of enemies and the other will have this other pack in this environment. That's
I'm just
my
hoping.
understanding. But it's not going to
I'm
be
just hoping.
like, not going to be an open world.
But it'd be crazy though because they said that it would be a bit bigger, and so what I'm worried about is like if they try to do what they did with DMC4 and like the previous ones with Blue Orb Collection and everything like that, how is that going to play out?
That I couldn't tell you. I couldn't even begin to speculate on it.
I mean, that that's got to be like something that I don't even know how to feel about it because that's the same. That's like my same worry with Kingdom Hearts 3 is that you got chests to worry about. You got collectibles that you have to hunt down. How is this gonna work? Like, are
They
we
need
gonna
to.
get a radar? Are
Well,
we
no.
gonna get some form of
So
indication?
in DMC4 we got a mini map, which was all of useless. But I'm guessing that mini map's gonna come into play in DMC5.
I hope it does.
Yeah,
Cause
I hope it's useful.
yeah, that would be nice.
Hope it actually
Cause
like gives me reason to look at it outside of did I come through this door or not?
it's like, will I get something beyond it? Because I mean, Nero had this ability where he could like find hidden items and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. He had a
But
his arm would
but it's like,
glow. Whoa, what a waste of an ability gain. I'm gonna be honest.
like
That should have been something you purchase.
yeah, that really should have. That's what I'm saying. It's like a lot of the stuff just didn't.
Like one of the abilities you get is what is it? You get shield from the Rusalka, but you get the ability
No,
to
you get that from Krita,
you get that
the
from
shield.
Kratos. Wow, I'm an idiot. The Rusalka corpse. What do you?
The ability to like detect hidden objects.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then from and then from uh, the Sephirotic fruit, you get the ability to
Destroy
destroy
plant.
destroy plant walls, which are only in
Yep.
one section of the game.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh,
And then you also get the stupid thing with the gyro blades, which were practically useless.
yep. Yeah, completely useless gains from boss fights or
It's like
item collections. Like the only one that had any combat application was Kratos' shield.
which was like used for not even used for like as a shield.
Right.
Mind
It
you, it was
was
just used to like grab them and jump cancel off enemies repeatedly.
or repositioning, or if you wanted to do something stylish with a Mega Scarecrow, like maybe use one of his buddies as a shield. Pay
Which
fifteen
I've seen
hundred.
people do.
Pay
Yeah, which
1,500 life points and direct the target of the effect to another monster on the field. There you go. There's your Yu-Gi-Oh reference today.
but yeah, it's just like I mean with there were so many abilities that were practically gimmicky or useless for Nero, and it just and
Yeah,
that's why
none
I
of
think a
those.
lot of
No
people.
gimmicks. Everything
Yeah, I
you
really.
get should have combat application.
Yeah, it's like something that I can actually use, like the lasers that Nero had, which was amazing because I already can figure out a combo using that.
Oh, the lasers from his double breaker.
Yeah, from his double breakers.
Oh, that's gonna be so sick. Like the tech in that's gonna be real, man.
I already can figure out what because it stops enemies in the air sometimes. Like if you hit them with it,
It brings them back too.
yeah, if it bounces off the wall and hits them in the back, it bounces them to you. So it's like what I was thinking with the combo scheme with that is that like doing my standard combos, which is like um let's say streak again, snatch, then the standard attack that ends with the overhead, which knocks the enemy straight downward. During that overhead animation, just fire the laser and just keep them staggered in the air real quick and change positions again to catch them on the ground. Like there's so many. I feel like that would be good for chasing down people that you throw away. Because another thing you notice in the trailer, and not the trailer itself, but the dev talk thing with Isuno, is that when like momentum is changed from
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 4. Because the reason why that's the case, and it makes sense because people can say, "Oh, it's the engine." No, that's not the engine. It's that momentum wasn't really a thing like that in Devil May Cry 4. It wasn't. Like enemies, when you attack them in Devil May Cry 3, let's go back to that game. In Devil May Cry 3, enemies would go up or down. Only certain attacks will send them flying away. But most of the time, when you're jump canceling or doing any sort of attack that has an overhead, they were going straight down. in Devil May Cry 4, it was the same case. A lot of enemies would go up, a lot of enemies would go down. The only time enemies would go really forward is unless you have an attack that had some sort of kinetic force to it that makes enemies go in that direction. Which is why Dante has the inertia glitch, or which we commonly know as guard flying, because the momentum system in that game wasn't fully flushed out and it was broken. And in this game, it looks like it's a completed version of it, because when Nero does an overhead in one of the parts, instead of the enemy going straight down like it would in Devil May Cry 4, he goes in an angled animation and goes flying straight out of Nero's reach. So we're going to be doing a lot of tech that involves us chasing these guys down once we do a finisher.
Wondering how quickly Nero can switch between his Devil Breakers, because what you can do in 4 is you can do Streak, which knocks the enemy back. You can use Snatch to bring him back.
I'm going to assume that it would be like really fast, but from if you paid attention to what Chaser was saying, he's suspecting that the animations have to finish.
Yeah, so that's going to be really Ninja Gaiden-esque, where in order to switch, you have to... Well, okay, in Ninja Gaiden, to switch weapons, your attack animation has to complete before you can pause to do the switch. And then you have to switch weapons, however that might be, whether it's in a pause menu or you can do it real time.
Yeah.
Which with Nero is going to be, I guess, fine, depending on how it's implemented, like how fast his animation is, and how generous the stun, like hit stun is. I'm hoping it's generous enough where there's spots where you can do it.
What he was referring to was not that, but he was referring to, like, because during one of the segments, it looked like Nero had to finish his animation, like, say he was doing Caliber, the attack in the air. It looked like for him to do Caliber, he had to finish the animation of Caliber, the dashing animation, which dragged the enemy forward a bit before the hit connects, and then do that. Like, it wouldn't just like in 4, if you're right next to him, dash into them like really fast, hit them with the thing, and it'll go away. Like, he actually has to do the full length of the dash, then hit them. Like, the animation of it is changed, like, to where instead of you automatically like honing in on the target and then hitting them as soon as you're close to them, so like an instant stinger or instant caliber is no longer a thing. It's like they will be dragged along with your attack. Then when you do the attack, they'll get thrown away. So I don't know if they're doing that for the sake of giving Nero, from what it looked like, it could be the case, but I highly doubt it. It might be just a mechanic that we don't know about that's making it look like that. But if it is, the only thing, oh crap, that's a Lino. The only thing that I can think of is that it is a because Nero doesn't have options when dodging in the air.
Right. And it doesn't look like and it looks like that's still going to be the case. Because, I mean, there's still got to be some kind of balance. There's got to be pros and cons to Nero, Dante, and B.
Yeah, so that's what I'm assuming the thing is. I'm assuming that it's a I should not be fighting this Lino. I'm going to die a horrible death.
Barely just killed me. Judge me.
What was I saying before I got sidetracked?
Changing Devil Breaker, like the animation.
Oh,
I think it's
like
dodging.
None of the characters have a real way of dodging in the air except for Dante and Virgil. Nero doesn't have that option. He's kind of vulnerable when he's in the air.
Right.
So this might be the developer's way of saying, "Hey, we're making it a thing now."
He sort of had a way. Like, you had to do some meter management, but you could Devil Trigger and he'd be invincible.
Yeah, the invincibility frames.
But I mean, it's
I'm talking about, like,
kind of situational. Right. Well, Yeah, he had caliber, but that was really only one direction. That was always towards the enemy, unless you're one of those mutants that knows how to do reversals. I don't.
Yeah, I know how to do it.
I don't. I'm bad at the game.
It's hard as shit though.
I bet it's hard. I still don't understand them, and because every
Freaking
explanation just makes no sense to me. I mean, if that's going to be in, and I hope it's in DMC5, just because I mean, let's just have everything that 4 had, leave nothing out. Game's been in development for 3 years.
yeah. Like I said, I really that it's a thing.
3 years of dev time, everything should be in there. I think Dante, like until we see Dante's trailer, I have to assume that we're gonna still have Dante's 4 primary styles, 4 cardinal styles: Trickster, Swordmaster, Royal Guard, and Gunslinger.
I hope they bring back Dark freaking Dark Slayer, the Quicksilver.
Nero has it with the
Yeah, Nero has the ability. Yeah, Nero has the ability to stop time, but I'm really thinking that what if Dante gets that back as well?
that'd be interesting. Kind of, I don't know that he needs it. I want Dante to have some. I want Gunslinger to be better. I want Gunslinger to
I want
have.
that too. But how cool would it be able to chain uh Quicksilver with all the styles like you would do with the style mod?
I mean, we've seen what you can do, and it's pretty ridiculous. And I'm
Yeah,
all for it. If it makes if combat gets insane, I'm for it. If it gets wacky, I don't care. Just do it. Just do
that's what I'm saying. I really want to see that.
it. I'd be all for it. Like if the decision process is, well, I mean, will this be too crazy? Go for it. Do it anyway. That's Devil May Cry.
Like this is insane. This is wacky. It's like that's Devil May Cry for you, boy.
There are a lot of people hoping that the D-pad that style switching is handled differently than with the pad. But for the life of me,
I
like,
can't see any other way of it being done.
yeah, I can't either. They're saying, well, you have to let go of the left stick. Okay, my question is this, and I don't know that I play at a particularly high level, but I've never felt like taking off the left stick matters all that much because
Yeah,
when's the only time, like when you're styling on the enemy, what's the only time you need the left? When you're doing inertia stuff, are you changing styles during inertia? No, you're not, because you're already in Royal Guard when you're doing it.
yeah. I feel like
I mean, it's you just get used to it, and what was it?
the only
Sky
thing you
Star.
really when you're doing inertia stuff. The only thing for me, what I do um is like once you're doing the inertia, like let's say guard flying, uh, when you're switching it, when you're doing that animation, the way I remember it, like because it's by muscle memory, is like say if I'm doing Lucifer, the trickster one, I trickster dash, you already hit circle, then you hit really fast royal guard, and then you hold both circle and X together, then let go of the lock on and move the stick in the direction you're going, and that's pretty much it. And you want to keep your finger on the stick at all times because if you can't,
I mean,
you
okay,
won't
there's
control
that
where you're going.
claw. There's that claw configure,
Yep, which is what
which
you know,
hurts. Like you talk to Chaser, you talk to Dunger, you talk to 2B
Younger
Power.
is the one who did.
They'll
Yeah,
tell you that doing that long term kind of hurts your fingers. You're actually in physical pain. Like I watch 2B Power stream time to time, and he complains about
yeah, like that's why I have limiters on my hands. So that way I don't hurt myself. Because when I played as Virgil doing the live stream, where I showed people how I play Virgil because they're like, "How's your hands hurting?" And then they see how fast my hands are going doing combos, and it's like, "What the fuck? How do you not break your controller?" And it's just, I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know.
if they think Devil May Cry is rough on a controller, they haven't played Metal Gear Rising. That game is so bad for your.
Devil May Cry 3, I feel like is worse. I mean, yeah, Metal Gear Rising is bad with
The
the freaking
parries.
not the parries, the cancels that you can do with the
Yeah.
Zandatsu cancels. Like that shit's ridiculous as
Well,
all
I mean, you're
hell.
gonna break your left stick. Like, I was watching Vash TSB, and I think he broke his left stick parries.
Oh, I think I know it's yeah. Was it during the strong fight?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that. That was freaking ridiculous.
yeah. I mean, pretty much any fight is subject to. I could be wrong about who it was, but I'm pretty sure. I know I watched it on a live stream. Someone broke their left stick, and it was during a boss fight. It was either it was during a boss fight. But yeah,
I know
Metal
with
Gear
I know
Rising's
with
super hard
me.
on your.
I know with me when I played Devil May Cry 3 and I didn't know jump canceling was a thing because YouTube didn't exist at the time. Uh, I mean, you know about the story. Like I freaking broke the goddamn PS2 controller with
Yeah,
my
those controllers were poor quality.
no, I made it combust though. Like, what person do you know makes a controller like break in two?
Fighting game players.
Yeah, like they get mad and
I have a
drop.
friend. He actually broke his. He threw his $150 fight stick at the wall. He gets mad. So
Wow.
we like making him mad. Love him to death, but like
Like, mother.
if we're watching
Yeah.
his stream, our goal is to get him angry.
Like this 1-800 get mad. Here's some salt. But
But I
yeah, it's just
want like with Dante, I want his tricks. I want his DMC3 trickster kit to come back. I want wall running. I want to be able to run up enemies, but I also want to be able to run up walls. I want to be able to. What else could you do?
three.
Yeah.
Uh, see, wall running walls, trickster 3 times on the ground, if I'm not mistaken, trickster twice in the air. Um,
Oh, you can do air trick twice quick enough.
yeah, and yeah, just the wall running aspect was perfect.
Uh,
You could run
but
up walls, you could run up the side of walls, and this gave you invincibility frames too. It'd be cool to be able to chain those together, and if they had like had a secret mission cater to it.
oh yeah, yeah. And I think it should be I think wall running should be unlimited so long as there are walls for you to jump on. Like I'm talking Ninja Gaiden Sigma style. Keep being
Hoot,
on
hoot, 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 da!
like maybe limit the wall jumps, but not the wall runs. Cause that stuff's stylish as all get out. It really is.
I really do hope that like the combat is just on foot, just
Basically,
for
just
real.
add more kit to Dante. Give us forward and back inputs in the air with the styles and the weapons. Like forward triangle in the air should do something. Back triangle in the air should do each weapon. And then forward style, back style should do something in the air and in the on the ground where it makes sense. Like with Trickster, I don't know what you do, but like air trick should always be there, obviously. But maybe like
You know what
in
I also think too, since they're trying to stay true to Devil May Cry 4's formula, I'm hoping that a lot of the stuff that made Dante and Devil May Cry 4 good,
you mean the
and
bugs?
yeah, the bugs, it actually becomes an actual mechanic in this one, like guard flying be an actual mechanic.
That
Freaking
yeah yeah. If it wasn't an intended mechanic, but the fact that it stayed in special edition tells me they like the results. They could have fixed that.
yeah, they fixed the Lucifer glitch.
I don't know that that was intentional. Because it's
but
actually
then
still in
fixing it.
there. It's still in there. It's just way more hits. Someone timed it out. It's 100 hits. You're not gonna do it without like mods, but it's still
Yeah, it's
there.
not viable
Yeah, it's not
anymore.
viable. There are mods that bring it back.
I'm just saying though, it'd be kind of cool to see them bring those stuff back, like aerial rave, not star rave.
Yeah, that stuff should still be there. That's I think it should be. The
The
I,
rumors also stated that you'll be able to stick with like one style, but the enemies will kind of get adjusted to your style.
yeah, so enemies like if I'm in Gunslinger, enemies will behave one way. If I go into Swordmaster, they'll behave in another. Like, or maybe they'll just be neutral until you're in a particular style.
Or you do the
Like if
style
I'm in
set.
Gunslinger, assaults don't care. But if I'm in Swordmaster, well, that's a style that can mess their day up.
Here's
So
what I
they
think
react
could also
accordingly.
be a thing as well, and correct me if you think it's wrong, right? But uh, you know how like if you do certain things repeatedly, the style meter goes down.
Yeah.
What if it's the case with the styles where you use a style a certain amount of times, the enemies end up becoming aware of it and they end up adjusting themselves accordingly to it. So you have to constantly be mixing it up with the styles to where you
Oh,
can't be
that'd be
hitting on
nice.
one.
That'd be nice.
That's what I think they want to do with the style. Is what they mean by like, oh, enemies will be more, you know, persistent on like not letting you do what you got to do with the style.
As
But
long as they
also,
aren't, as long as we can still style on them with with consistency, as i.e., no dream runners, no none of that garbage. Those are trash enemies.
oh yeah, the Dream Runners were called something else in
Shit.
the art book. No, no, they're called Dream Runners.
I
That's
know,
their
I know,
name.
I know, I know. There was and whatever their other variant was,
No,
but
they're all called Dream Runners. They're all called that.
they're
But they,
also all garbage. They are the
yeah,
worst thing in the world to fight. I watched Sam D try to fight 5 of them. He's one of the best, if not the best, DMC player. And yeah, and he lost it, and it's not because his technique was bad. He lost because the enemies are broken. Not fun. I'm fine with enemies being able to resist you. That's fine, as long as I know when that comes. But it's not consistent with Dream. I'm
because the
thinking,
Dream Runners is like, hi, how's it going? Hi, how are you?
yeah, like so. Someone explained to me that Dream Runner, like if you do certain attack types too much, they'll break out. So I always kept my attacks varied, but they still broke out. It didn't make any sense to me why. So
It's
that couldn't have
it's
been.
it's that like what I've learned about the Dream Runners is that it doesn't matter what you do. Just if
Awesome.
if you
Awesome.
do if you do a certain amount of hits, they will wake up.
Yeah, that's garbage. I think like if your moves become stale, maybe let them break out. But there should be like I want a reward. Like my reward should be continuing to style on these guys. That should be my reward for varying it up. So the more
Yeah,
as long as I keep it relatively varied, I should be able to keep them in basically hit stun.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like that should have been a thing, but they didn't do it. That's
They
why
did,
I'm saying is that
yeah,
with
didn't even do it in definitive edition. In
yeah,
fact,
they
it was
didn't
a
do it.
little worse.
That's what I'm saying with the way they act. It's essentially boils down to how many hits you deliver before they decide to wake up and auto parry your thing before they hit you again. Which some people have learned to just abuse their auto parry, like when you're juggling them in the
Yeah,
air and they break free and try to do that
there
spin.
was there was an exploit using the uh one with the gun with the explosive shell.
Kablooey,
Kablooey,
jump
yeah,
cancel.
yeah, jump cancel Kablooey, and like that insta stun that puts him in a little bit of hit stun, just enough where you can get it started again. So like if their parry animation starts, you blow up Kablooey, and then you're basically you can stall on them for a little bit longer.
Yeah, you keep doing it. You keep
But I
applying the
shouldn't have to
pressure.
do that. Like it, because that's an exploit. That's not me being creative with mechanics or anything.
That's just the game being broken. Like the one time I broke the game in real life.
Oh well, I mean, one time I was just playing Definitive Edition. I was walking upstairs and I fell through the environment.
Oh no, I had a cutscene where I fought the Dreamer for the first time, and it was like, and you know the cutscene after that cutscene, and I was doing it to get the triple S ranking.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, after the cutscene where he ran away, the game crashed. Like it,
Eh.
like the game started. The game showed me in a world that was spinning and was nothing but clouds.
Wah,
So
wah.
yeah, and I had to, and there was no way for me to pause it, or I had to restart the whole damn thing. And I have it recorded too. It's on Twitch.
Yeah, that sucks. Also, another side effect of being on Unreal Engine.
Shit breaks down a lot, and I'm notorious for breaking games.
I hope Distortion's in there too.
I hope they, yeah, that would be nice to bring that back,
Maybe
but
not on
actually
like
make it.
everything, but I definitely want some distortion. Distortion is it was some of the first tech we found in DMC. In fact, it was the first tech that people found was, hey, if you double trigger on certain attacks, you get an extra hit.
Or it does more damage.
Yeah. And then if you
And
double
it's
trigger
skills.
out, you get an extra hit. And
Yep. And
then someone discovered that it's actually frame based, so long as you can keep so long as your timing's right and you have enough DT gauge, you could theoretically endlessly do it. But you have to be running
yeah,
the game at like
yeah. So like, if you could, yeah, if you basically had an attack that had just the most ridiculous amount of you know
if you
frames.
if you can run the game at like 300 frames per second, you could distort for and you're on super character, you could distort for like 30 minutes.
Like a blam, 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 blam,
Yeah,
blam.
you wouldn't do
Like,
much damage with
have
each one
mercy.
but it's still funny. Because
Oh my
what I did was I messed with the global settings on vanilla just to see like theoretically is there a maximum and there isn't.
that that makes me laugh because it's like what I think. Because here's what I'm thinking, right in the back of my mind. That I just thought about like the test thing with. Okay, so this one dude posted like on YouTube this test stuff with Smash Brothers Project M, and it had Dr. Mario versing like a bunch of Giga Bowsers. I swear to God, that cracked me up because in one moment, like it zooms up on Dr. Mario's face and he's going, "You're not going anywhere, motherfucker! Please have mercy." That's literally what would happen
Hmm.
with anybody who would use instant distortions. They're like, "You ain't going nowhere. Where are you going?"
Let's see, distortion, guard flying, actually just inertia tricks and followed under that. I don't know if Lucifer glitch can come back simply because I don't know if Lucifer's going to be in the game. Nice.
Yeah, but you gotta but you know
I
how.
think the I think the controversy is over how many weapons can Dante have. Will he have two or three?
Honestly, I would like him to just have a bunch that he did before.
Like three, but you select which ones. So a cross
Yeah,
between DMC3 and 4, where you have three weapons at once. So that's from DMC4, but you have a breadth of weapons like in DMC3.
yeah. Honestly, I would just like them to just kind of go back to the DMC3 mechanics where he had two weapons and then two guns to work with. That way, it made weapon like gun canceling, for instance, be relevant again.
Oh yeah, because what was it? Spiral. Spiral was
Yeah,
great.
with weapon canceling, that was my favorite gun to use for that very purpose. Was like you can
Oh,
just
when I moved to Style Switcher, if I'm not using shotgun, I'm using Spiral as my secondary. Because
oh,
guard
I
canceling is great. Jerry and
Yeah, I
Loop
always
is how I
use
win
that
that
with
fight.
Swordmaster and Gunslinger. Because if I'm gunslinging somebody,
Oh, that's something we need. We need a training mode. We need like a near automata debug mode style and a training
yes,
mode.
that would yes, that would we
Like
need that.
especially if we're gonna have if we're gonna have a character that in any way resembles DMC4 Dante, we need a training mode. Period. Because that
That's
character
what I.
is hard to.
That was something we've all complained about. Was like, how come we don't have that? How come we never had that? And it
There's
was like,
things. There are things DMC actually did right. A training mode. I mean, people will get mad that you're not universally painting every little thing DMC did, but a training mode is nice. But I'd like it to be a little more robust. I'd like to be able to select the enemy type. I'd like to be able to select environment. I'd like to select their AI pattern. Like, are they Son of Sparta? Are they Dante Must Die? Are they in Devil Trigger? Are they not?
yeah, that we do need something like that, and it would be cool to have like boss rush mode
Oh
added in.
yeah, oh yeah. How many Devil May Cry streams are just pure boss rush? I know mine are mostly. Like when I stream DMC, if I'm on PC, I'm just doing boss rush.
Like that's what I want more thing. It's like some sort of I don't know why, but I'm trying to get to this tower, and there's like the wind is being trolly. It's like pushing me in directions that I'm not supposed to go. Like it was pushing me one way. It's like pushing me away from the tower. There we go. Now I'm on the tower.
I
But
think.
yeah,
Oh,
but
and let's see.
go ahead.
We want enemy types. We want to choose the environment we're in. We want to choose what their AI pattern is.
Yeah, I think that'd be asking a little too much though from the devs.
Yeah, I mean this is still Capcom.
I would just like to have like kind of the same thing that we got in DMC Devil May Cry, but the option to switch between enemies to kind of figure out how the enemies act under certain like
Yeah,
situations. That's it. Like
and
not full on
you
adjusting
you
like
know
their
something.
parameters.
You know what? They should implement a custom pack encounter, like a setting where you can create a custom pack of enemies. But just be like, look, caveat emptor. It's possible to create a pack that you're not going to be able to win against.
That'd be
So
actually fun.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you want to fight 3 Kratos? Sure, why not? You want to fight Burial and then Echidna and then I don't know, Jarian all in the same arena back to back to back, or hell, at the same time? Why not? Just go for it, man.
Do you
More
want to fight
power
three
to.
Virgils?
Yeah, yeah, 3 Virgil 3s. Yeah, sure, go for it,
Oh my!
man. Rip
I don't think
you.
the game would be able to handle that.
Oh yeah, the second the judgment cut ends start happening,
Oh
rip
my god,
CPU.
the frame rate drops.
I don't know that there's a graphics card CPU combo out there that's gonna be able to handle that. Just because like the moment they start dropping, Judgment Cut ends. Like in the final phase of the DMC3 fight, the final boss fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
gonna
gonna
tank your CPU if you have less than like 4 cores.
I'm just imagining that being a thing. I really am. Because that will suck for anyone
But
that
you know
has.
what? Just let us do it. Just say, look, this is a and I mean, if it has to be paid DLC, just say so. We'll grumble about it, but at least it will exist in some form. But it should be a thing. Training mode should be a thing. Like,
Give us what we want.
yeah. Remember, we spent $25 on what essentially amounts to Virgil Deal. All right, we are a dumb fan base. All right, we are very much starved for content. We are going to buy your game. Give us a robust training mode.
I would like some DLC.
Oh, classic Virgil is going to be DLC. Guarantee it.
Like no more special editions. I just want
There's no
like
reason for special edition. On this day and
yeah, but
age. I mean,
there's a will, there's a
DMC4 it
way.
made sense, because it was just so long. And I mean, they wanted to start working on the special edition about a year after DMC4 came out, I'm not entirely sure what the issue was. The game sold better than any other game in the series. It definitely warranted one.
Capcom happened.
Oh
That's
well,
what it was.
yeah. Oh right, that was about the time Capcom decided they hated their IP, but still liked their fans in a very twisted version of
Yeah,
Stockholm Syndrome.
aka the murder of Mega Man,
Right.
and
Well,
yeah,
Mega Man 11's back. It means they're back.
yeah, it's back now. Now we can't say that they murdered it, but we can be like, hey, you guys, you know how you guys kind of put Mega Man on life support? Yeah, that's what I will literally say to a Capcom representative. Like, hey, what happened with you putting Mega Man on life support? I want to know that story.
Yeah,
Why'd you do that?
I mean, okay, I remember a rep saying Mega like a fully fledged Mega Man game like with modern graphics wouldn't do that well, and I kind of agree with it. But then Mega Man 9 and 10 happened, and they could have just kept doing that, and then they could have taken it on the same direction with the X series, like give us an SNES style Mega Man X9. Hell, I mean
Yeah,
that well, JKB Productions is working on Mega Man X Corrupted, and that's essentially our Mega Man X9 until a real one happens.
actually, speaking of Mega Man X, you're right about one thing floating around that there might be an actual Mega Man X, a new Mega Man X game coming.
Oh, I absolutely believe that because Capcom is going nice and retro with us right now. But we're gonna, but just like with how DMC was a and how definitive edition and special edition were de
Mhm.
facto gauges of what series was going to continue. Mega Man 11, like I think Mega Man 11 and the fate of the Mega Man Classic series is not in the like not in the balance. It depends on how Mega Man X Legacy does. And I
I hope it
think
does
they're
well.
in fact I think they're gonna use that to judge which style to go with. Because Legacy 1 is X1 through 4. Legacy 2 is 5, 6, 7, and 8. Why Command Mission isn't in there, I don't know.
I actually have that on the GameCube. It was a fun game.
Why not? Why not get it in there? And why not get Mega Man Extreme, the Game Boy games in there? Why not? And just be like, look, whichever one does the best, that's the style we'll go with.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous that
I
like
mean, I think,
Capcom is really nice.
I want to know like how long this is gonna last because I'm waiting for someone in corporate to wake up and be like, holy crap, we're treating our IPs properly.
Quick,
Who's on
hit
which
the red
CEO
button.
is on which CEO is on vacation? Who do we have to fire?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I
Like
mean, they love
everybody's
their
saying,
like.
everybody's calling them Cap Gods again, and it's like Cap God,
I mean,
Cap
they make the
God.
best games in the world.
Yeah, when they're not trying to pull a fast one.
Just starting with DMC4, they just were like, we gotta put games out. We gotta put games out. We gotta put games out. Yeah, that's not how you guys made like the best. That's how you guys. Not how you guys came up with the best side-scrolling formula the world has ever seen. Like you outclass. Like it's hard to say that a series can outclass Mario, and Mega Man does that.
I mean, shit. Mega Man 2, Dr. Wily's Castle.
Oh, and that's on my hacked Vita. That's my go-to for input lag test is Mega Man 2 and 5.
Like this for real. Bring us the Mega Man. That's it.
But let's see. As far as DLC, I think Virgil's gonna be DLC. I think Trish and Lady will be DLC as long as they're properly fleshed out. And I think like if you're gonna get playable characters, they should get their own little campaigns.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, and they should tie into the main campaign. They shouldn't just be like standalone. Like what was Virgil doing? Like he got Nero's arm. What was the the aftermath of that.
What was the motivation?
Motivation is more power, all the power, the best power, the best.
Like, where is your motivation?
Oh, this would be cool. This would be cool. I want bosses from the past. I don't know how they'd implement it. I don't care how they implement it. Like, if a Capcom rep ever sees this before the game comes out, be like, look, just sell us Garion. I don't care.
That was a resurrection of Credo, please.
Oh yeah, one of the best boss fights ever, Kratos. Virgil 3. Wait, which Virgil fight do you think was better, Virgil 2 or 3? I'm actually kind of on the fence about. I think Virgil 2 is better.
Virgil 2 would be more. 3 was just, it's frustrating on higher difficulty. Virgil doesn't die!
No, he doesn't. Oh yeah, that's right, because his DT recovery is way more effective.
Yeah, and then the freaking judging cut ends. They never end. Just like the name says, it never stops. Crash. 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 You just did it 3 times in a row. Stop it.
And he's
already.
healing, like he's Wolverine.
Yeah, he's healing. He got half his health back from that one fucking string.
I remember trying to beat him that way, and when he gets half of his health, and like, what am I supposed to do? This is Dante must die, which is basically you will die, not must die. Dante will die.
It's like, you shall die.
And
it's
then
like, you are right, and I don't like that. You are an ass. That's essentially what it comes down to, is you looking at the game and going, you are a dick. Virgil.
Oh, I did this. It's wrong. Yeah, I did that. You're supposed to do ground buster, then jump and grab him. And then if you can get a third ground buster, that's magical.
Oh, with the blitz.
Yeah. Oh boy. And he impaled. But I mean, they're already bringing back enemies from older games. The Hell Prides are back. The
people keep saying it's not the Hell Prides, but it looks exactly like.
No, they're the Hell Prides. It's just they look different because the RE engine wants character models to come in a certain way.
Yeah, and they're also saying, well, they have blood. But here's the thing, though, is that if you know anything about the lore of the Hell Prides are freshly made demons. They're
also made of. They're all made of sand.
Yeah, but for all we know, like, things could have been different in this case with the Hell Prides. Just for the fact that, like, for instance, like,
and plus,
there is such a thing as sand that's liquefied in the mesh. You ever been to the beach?
Oh yeah. My argument against that is it's an aesthetic choice. I mean, okay, when you watch Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, how long did it take for you to accept the redesign of the Gundam?
Oh, which one? Zero or
all of them? All of them. How long did it take for you to accept that the redesign, like even when they did a flashback to the last episode of Gundam Wing and Waltz, and they carried over the Endless Waltz designs? How long? Like, did you just accept it? I think you did, as most people do.
Yeah, like, yeah, I kind of did accept it because the designs looked way better than what they were originally. Like,
hey, how about this? How long did it take for you to accept the redesign of the Mega Man Zero series? Ooh, that one was
with X Command.
No, Mega Man Zero.
Oh.
I'm talking like drastic.
It was a drastic change, but I did like it though.
Yeah,
I really did. What I didn't like though was in Mega Man. I think it was Mega Man. I think. Wait, was it 3 or was it 4? I think it was. Wait.
What was
whatever one has Omega? Like Omega Zero.
Oh, that was 3.
Yeah, that one I did not like.
Why? Because
For the
that was
fact
the original
that,
Zero?
yeah, because Omega is supposed to have the body and it looks exactly like, you know, Zero.
Well, it's the
And
same. It's the same ideas behind like the redesigns of Endless Waltz. That's just the way that series is gonna render those designs. So it's just
no,
keeping internally consistent.
no, but here was the issue was that uh
Oh,
uh
like he looked identical except he was slightly darker.
yeah, he was identical, and I seen the concept art for Omega. There was an actual outfit that was supposed to look like the Zero from the Mega Man X series. Like, yeah, they had a complete full on concept of what it looked like in Mega Man Zero style, and it looked really good.
What game was this?
What game was it?
Like, like was this in Command Mission?
No, it was for Mega Man. It was for Mega Man Zero, the Mega Man 03,
Okay,
like concept art from the art book.
yeah. He's supposed to be. He's supposed to look like Zero because he is Zero. If anything,
Yeah,
your
but
character's the copy.
he was supposed to have the original like.
Oh, like the Mega Man X1 design?
Yeah, he was supposed to have the
No,
Mega Man
yeah,
X.
I'm glad they didn't do that because it wouldn't be consistent. Wouldn't have been
Like,
consistent with the design of the series was going with. Like if there was like for example, like if there was going to be a flashback to the Mega Man X series, they would have used the Mega Man Zero design. It's
which
simply an aesthetic appearance. Now, like you can like or not like it. That's a different issue entirely.
it just threw me off at first because it was like, oh my god, he looks like a kid.
Yeah. So when like, but the fact is, as video game fans, like and generally nerds, we've accepted far more drastic redesigns than the Hell Prides and the I don't remember what they're called in DMC2. The enemies with the meat cleavers.
DMC2, the enemies with the cleavers. I
It's the enemy
don't
that
remember.
it's the enemy Nero's using the Quicksilver
I know that
style
they're
thing.
organic, and that when you attack them, their bodies explode, and they end up regenerating their body parts.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I
I've
know which
played
one you're talking
DMC2
about.
all of twice.
Yeah, I tried doing a playthrough of it, and my
Um,
PS4 even crashed on the game and said,
your
"No, we can't."
PS4 didn't crash; it was giving you life advice.
It gave me life advice.
But I mean that's I mean all these enemies are coming back. Why not? Why not just give us why not give us more bosses just as kind of like oh well it doesn't fit in the context of the game but sure do it anyway.
Let's have fun with it.
Yeah, Nero as a boss fight. No, it doesn't happen in the game. Don't care. Let's do
It
it.
only happens in Devil May Cry 4 refrain, which is on the mobile.
Ugh, gross. Though the fact that that game exists means that some enterprising individual could mod that into the PC version. It's the same code.
That would be funny to see that. I also want to see the Devil May Cry mobile coming out. That's supposed to
Oh,
be based.
Pinnacle of Combat.
Yeah, Pinnacle of Combat. I
I
want to see
think
that.
I think that game is stalled in development. We haven't heard anything about it in 6 months. It's a mobile game.
Yeah, I know. I just want to see something of it. Like is it because it's made by Korean developers, and I'm wondering, is it only going to be in Korea, or are we going to
I
actually
thought
get
it
our
was
hands on
Chinese. Either way, I don't think anything's happening. I think it's dead. I want to be wrong. I really do because I want to start looking into Android emulators.
it?
I'm not playing that game on my phone.
I'll have to play that shit on a Vita. It'd be cool if they make a port of it onto
I'm sure
handheld.
I'm sure some genius is because yeah, I'm sure some genius would be able to like reverse engineer the game, and then because it'd be open source, it could be ported to Vitas that are hacked.
That'd be ridiculous.
I'd be for it.
Yeah, I think we covered. I think we covered mostly everything when it comes to Devil May Cry and everything. Devil May Cry 5 as a whole.
Yeah, I
Until we can, until we can
basically
see more.
yeah, we need to see more. We need to see what the Dante trailer is going to have, and I'm pretty sure that's what's going to be at Gamescom. I'm pretty sure we're going to get the V tease, the Dante trailer. I mean, or they're going to do a V trailer, which that would be off-putting, but I guess possible. I don't know how
But
much
I feel
sense
like
that.
what they'll do is what they did with Nero's is show Dante because we got Dante at the end of the trailer for Nero. Then after that, we'll get something with V, and then it'll show like maybe like like spring 2019 or maybe a release date, and
I
then all
think
of a
it'll be a
sudden,
release. Yeah, I think it'll be a release date, and I think I don't think we'll actually get a V trailer. The more I think about it, I think they'll let us figure out what's going on with V in the game. I don't necessarily think they need V needs a trailer. Like because V isn't a character that's like anyone was anticipating. Like if he was Virgil, yeah, we absolutely have to have that. But I think if like I think all we need is a Virgil trailer. I think all we need is a Nero and Dante trailer. That's all we need. Like DMC4 only had 2 trailers, and it worked. Special Edition had 2 trailers, and it worked just fine. DMC had a launch trailer, and it had 3 trailers. It had an announced trailer, which went over like a lead balloon. I think as far as the content, I mean, yeah. Then there was the stuff before the crash, but I don't know. Can you just quickly go over it again? The art direction looks solid, if different.
yeah,
But I mean, keep in mind we've been with these designs for 10 years. It was going to be jarring no matter what they went with. Uh, I
I mean,
really want them to keep. I really like the direction of the music. I hope Dante has the same. Hope. Ooh,
huh?
I hope. I
What?
hope the music for Dante is the same kind of thing that Nero has. Very layered, very built up. Something that we can style to at every level. It just makes it more energetic. And I really want the Dante trailer to have just that same confidence. I think it will.
You know, it's gonna have that same confidence. It's not even a matter of if,
Because I mean,
ands, or
that
buts.
Nero trailer was perfect. That's the trailer that we had to get. That's the trailer that should have come out. Because anything else would have just been Capcom kind of phoning it in. That I'm glad that that's the message they're not sending us. That they're like, yeah, we're listening to you, but this is still really awesome.
It's
And
like, I hope you like this trailer.
I mean,
Hope we
Itsuno
really
knows what
like
he's
it.
doing. So, and
Like,
then
I think we all shit ourselves. I think we all grew a little bit during that conference, and we all shit ourselves at the same time.
I think we needed like 2 viewings to really appreciate what was going on. Because if you weren't aware of what was going on with Devil May Cry before, everyone was missing OG Dante. But then before that, everyone was complaining about Nero, and then we got Method Dante. And then we didn't realize how good we had it with Nero. Now Nero's back. He's having fun.
And I think I was one of the first people to complain about it. Like Nero was perfectly fine as a character in Zelda, and then people were just like,
They're like,
"He
oh
was
my gosh,
what?"
he's so edgy. Because he's got someone that he cares about and being kidnapped. I mean, yeah, not the greatest plot point in the world, but you know, he's got a motivation besides Dante. Like unlike Dante, I mean, Dante has motivation, but Dante's just kind of like, I'm paid to be here, and I'm doing the right thing, but I'm saying I'm getting paid. I'm saying I'm doing it for the money, but really he's softy.
Yeah, like he's doing this for the sake of just like,
Whereas Nero is like all about this other person. So it's like, oh, you mean that's a bad character trait? That's a terrible character trait? What? Are you a sociopath?
Like,
Because
I'm just
we got a character that doesn't care about anyone, and even towards the end of the game, like his
yeah, I
character
feel
completely shifted in the last 4 missions of the DMC.
yeah, it was just I don't know. I still feel bad though for DM. Speaking of DMC, I still feel kind of bad about that in the situation where it's like,
I mean, I might have contributed to that, and I regret it. But I'm not gonna.
like
I'm still gonna say game did not live up to what I was hoping for.
I feel like it could have been
It wasn't
like
Devil
we
May
got a
Cry.
sequel to yeah, like the definitive edition really kind of stands out like a bit, but it still feels like it. Unlike the vanilla version, I feel like gameplay wise, it stands right next to the other games, but not in the same not in the same grace. And I feel like a second game would have really helped justify it.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's never going to happen because
Well, Ninja Theory is now owned by Microsoft, and Devil May Cry is a multi-platform property. Okay, no, they're not owned by Microsoft. They have a exclusivity contract for for an undisclosed number of games. It's essentially they own whatever comes out of Ninja Theory for the next like 2 or 3 games, I think. So that's about as.
it's like Minecraft.
Oh no, they own Mahjong.
They have Mahjong now owned, and I'm like, no.
I will say DMC had markedly superior DLC to DMC4, even DMC4 Special Edition, because Virgil's Downfall is actually added content.
Like power, I need more power. It's like, oh, really now? Is that where we're going with this?
Yeah. Did he?
Like, that's really a thing. Okay.
He needs more power and does it through computer hacking.
He does it through shooting pregnant demon women in the stomach.
Okay, I was telling someone this the other day. He was talking about how the art style made the trailer whack, and I told him, look, complain about the art style all you want, but as long as the game doesn't have any like dockside P90 abortion scenes followed by matricide, I think the game's gonna be all right. because
It's like, I think we're gonna be okay.
because the game was like, oh, Devil May Cry is gonna be like shocking and gonna challenge the player, and it's like actually it's just gonna offend people with how classless.
It's like not in a
Like the
million years.
combat's all right. It's the content that just was like, what is this? What's going on? Why are you? Why are these like? Why is Virgil using a gun? I mean, I'm not a purist. If he wants to use a gun, that's fine. But something about shooting a pregnant lady is kind of. I feel
And
like
then
that.
smiling about it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
smiling about it.
Oh, he was smiling, wasn't he? Yeah, yeah. How about don't do that? If he's gonna do that, he should be like, it was necessary.
Then shot her in the head.
Yep.
Like I can't defend that. I couldn't defend.
What was
that
your reaction to that when you first saw it?
What was my first reaction to that? I was like,
Did you process? Did you process what that scene was?
No, I processed it, and my response was, "What the fuck was that? Did that just happen? Is this really going? Is this how this
I
game is
thought
going
Shakespearean.
down?" That was my response.
Because that was the
like,
word. That was the
really
word
happened.
Tamim was using to describe DMC. Shakespearean.
That wasn't Shakespearean. That was
Tasteless.
yeah.
Like Devil May Cry. Actually, no. Devil May Cry has never had a tasteless moment. I mean, it's had some pretty obtuse ones.
I will fill your dick soon we leave.
Yeah, we're not here for the writing. We
We're
wanted good writing.
we
We'd play God of War. Oh, we're here for just something over the top. Turn your brain off. until there's stuff to beat up.
AKA, let's play billiards with demons' faces. And spin one in our favor.
Yes. Oh, I love that scene. I'm trying to decide what the best cutscene in all of Devil May Cry series. It's either the scene where Dante runs into Agnes, or Dante's guitar solo after he beats Neb. It's one of those two. I love those scenes.
My top 3 is the one with in the beginning with in Devil May Cry 3 where he.
Oh yeah, he gets like stabbed 100 times.
Yeah, and he's playing billiards and shit with their faces, sliding them off the. Like, it really gave you a hint of what the hell you were getting into with Devil May Cry 3.
Here's what kind of game this is.
This is what, yeah, this is exactly what you're playing. Have fun. And it's just like you're sitting there as a kid, like, what the fuck, you know?
This guy's awesome.
It's like, I want to play more of this. So yeah, that's what you do. That's what kind of what you deal with, and then then the part where he gets his double trigger and he runs down the side of the building before getting eaten by Leviathan.
With what was it? What was playing? Oh yeah, it was a mix of Devils Never Cry.
Yep.
Yeah, that was your first taste of it.
Yeah, that, and then the third one, which is the guitar riff.
Notice how all of those cutscenes were where it was Dante having fun. I can't emphasize enough like how important that is. Like, because if he's having fun, I think we're having fun because we like the character.
Yes, that's the beauty of that character is that he represents us as children.
Mm-hmm. It's
like, we want to have fun, give us
every
fun.
badass fantasy we've ever wanted to live out.
I want to slide on demons' faces.
For a second, I thought that was a thing that happened in the trailer. By the way,
only in cutscene.
No. In the DMC5 trailer, for a second I thought that was something that happened, like in cutscene or in game. I don't know why I made that connection.
Oh my god, it'd be cool if Dante could.
I want that. Oh, that's what needs to come back too. Yeah, Joyride, or what was it called? In DMC3, where you slide on the demon.
Yeah, I think it was Joyride.
Yeah, but that was good traversal. That was a great traversal option.
It'd be fun. I want to do that. I want to see that, and then also the thing with him, like when there's a pole or a light fixture or whatever, he could just like spin around it and bring back like the old school like Macabre.
Oh yeah, where he spins around on the sword. I think there should be I think Dance Macabre should be different in every game. I think the finish should be different in every game, but I think the lead up should be similar. Just because it's I don't know, it just seems right. Because Dance Macabre
It makes more sense that way.
As long as it's nuts, as long as it's just crazy and it looks fun.
Like, please.
But in all of this, Dante and Nero need to be having fun. Like, they need to be looking like they're having the times of their lives.
Most definitely.
Like, serious moments, let them be serious, but if he's dealing with mooks, just let him have fun, man. Because in DMC, he looked like he was just doing chores. And I think that was the biggest disconnect with the character. The combat was all right. It was good enough. The story, I mean, fortunately, we're not here for it. The content was mostly tasteless.
Yeah,
but I mean, Dante, like the 2 cutscenes where Dante was doing crazy stuff, he still didn't look like he was enjoying it. Which means I wasn't terribly invested in whether or not things go well.
I remember the laser segment in DMC Devil May Cry was ridiculous as fuck.
Where was that?
That was like at the end when you're trying to break into Moonbus.
Oh yeah, I remember.
like, what? I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. This shit's
Oh,
gonna hurt.
and did you beat the game on Dante Must Die mode? Because
Yes, I did all that.
it's basically 3 Dream Runners in every enemy pack.
Yeah, I did all that a long time ago. The only thing I didn't do was God Must Die.
Yeah, Gods Must Die is pointless. Don't bother.
That shit seems
There's not even
challenging.
there's not even a
There's no
trophy or
trophies
reward for it.
I know. But like it would seem challenging enough to where I want to try it, but it was like
It's not
frustrating as
fun.
hell.
It's really not.
Yeah, it was frustrating as hell, and I didn't want to sit there and try to figure it out like right then and there.
Oh, that's another thing. I want DMC5 to be hard, but I don't want it to be frustrating. I don't want it to be. I still want it to be fun. Basically, I want it to be something surmountable. Like I want it to be clear that there's a solution. Maybe don't necessarily tell me what the solution is or make the solution that easy, but don't make it obtuse. Like when every single pack has Dream Runners in it, that's both being obtuse and frustrating. Because there's really nothing I can do unless I know about Kablooey exploits, and even then, that's really tight timing. You only have like maybe half a second to, yeah, I think maybe like half, yeah, to get the stun lock back up. And I mean, it's tough to think about like, well, what am I gonna do when I do Kablooey? Like, am I gonna be in the right position for that? Like, and if you have to compromise, just make sure it's fun. That's more important.
Like there's a lot to take in when it comes to Devil May Cry as a whole, and I just hope that a lot of the stuff that I wish for Devil May Cry 5 to be a thing in it, like a time run mode, just to see how fast you can kill enemies and get through one point to another, like Resident Evil has. In Resident Evil, actually, are they even gonna bring that back in Resident Evil 2? I don't think they are.
What?
The
time attack?
The time attack stuff.
I didn't follow RE2, but I don't see why they wouldn't.
Well, they changed up everything, so I don't know if that would be a possibility. And that's another thing that I just realized. So, uh, so the guy who makes the Evil Within games, right? He said after Evil Within 2, he was going to go back to Capcom and work on a Resident Evil game with them. Well, now we know what that was. We thought it was Resident Evil 8.
Oh, that was him?
Cool. Yeah, that was him. The mechanics and all that stuff, that was him.
Nice. Good get, Capcom. Way to get your employees back. Way to go.
I'm getting pelted by rocks repeatedly. Thank God I have enough health to withstand the hits.
I just never could get into Breath of the Wild, and unfortunately, DMC5 is implementing a gaming mechanic that I despise, which is weapon breaking. I mean, okay, in DMC5's defense, though, you're not helpless. You have the Red Queen and Blue Red, so you can still do stuff. And we don't know what what the consequences of actually having a damaged Devil
Breaker does.
What?
Like, we don't know the consequences of what breaking your Devil Breaker will do.
Yeah, like, I mean, obviously you don't get to use the ability quite like you used to. I mean, but is it like Mirror Master Rebirth where it's just like nerfed all get out? Or can you just not press circle? Like what's...
I have no idea.
Again, something we'll find out, I guess, when we hit the game.
It'd be like a lockout.
I suspect we're still going to be able to defend ourselves. I suspect we're still going to have a viable offense. We're just going to have one less option in combat until we give Nero a chance to change DBs.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, one thing I hope they don't do is just, like, when the Devil Breaker, breaks, when DB breaks, I hope they don't force Nero to stop to change it. I hope they let us, like, finish whatever combo, or like manage enemies in a way where we can safely change it out. Because if I'm in the middle of like 50 scarecrows and I break a double breaker, I don't want Nero to just be like, hold on, everybody, I'm going to change my double breaker. And then like 42 of them just do that leap attack and
Oh,
hit me.
actually, no, they talked about that. So if it breaks, he'll immediately he can switch on the on the
Yeah,
fly.
you
Like
switch
with
on the fly, but I know you're not going to be able to do other things while you're switching. Like I'm sure you'll be able to switch midair. I'm sure you'll be able to switch on the ground. But it's not like cancel.
that, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a mechanic in there that you can cancel it.
I mean, if Devil May Cry or Devil May Cancel.
Devil May cancel.
I mean, how many cancels do we have in DMC4? We have teleport cancels, jump cancels, guard cancels,
Trickster cancel.
crit cancels. We've got rev cancels. We've got yeah, that's a lot of cancels, man. Like,
in Devil May Cry 3, you have gun cancels, yo.
oh yeah, DMC4 has gun cancel, but not to the same extent. I mean, yeah, we've got cancels for days. Yeah, I'm sure that DBs are gonna have a cancel of some kind for
Yep.
a change.
Cancel. And
Cancel
cancel some
cancels.
more. It's like, well, what's that cutscene? Cancel.
Why not cancel everything?
Cancel. Game's canceled.
And secretly, I want a must style mode.
That would actually be kind of interesting.
I wish Special Edition had must style.
That would
be
very interesting to have.
I think Definitive Edition got better features for its release. I really do. But then again, DMC4 didn't have to do anything. All that special just had to give us. It did. Otherwise, it's the same 10-year-old game we've been playing.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna head out and stuff like that. We covered a whole lot. I bet you we can't really cover it any more than what we've talked about since we have to wait until Gamescom. When Gamescom's coming, I'll definitely talk more about that.
Yeah, the Dante trailer or whatever trailer we get. I suspect it's Dante. Cover that
because
there's gonna and then it has to be Dante because that's the character they teased at the end of Nero's. Wouldn't make sense to do anybody else.
Yep.
So we'll definitely talk about that, and then I guess that if anything big breaks, definitely want to talk about it. What's going on? Break it down a little more.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Peace.